to my channel. I hope you guys had a great week. This week I'm going to be coming to you guys with a topic talking about plans and timelines. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up like I normally do. I have two scriptures this week. The first one's going to be coming from Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. And it says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." The second one is going to be coming from Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. And it says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So those are the two scriptures, basically just talking about plans and how we should process them when we are just going day to day. So I have a couple of tips that I think will be very beneficial in just helping us process and break down those plans, and especially dealing with the disappointment potentially with those plans that we do make and create our own way. So the first thing is, I think that we as people need to let go of the preset ideas that we have in our mind about how life should go. I think it's something that's been kind of breeded from a very, very young age. You know, you were told to dream and dream big, and it's nothing wrong with dreaming, and there's nothing wrong with dreaming big at all. But I think a lot of us, as we were younger and growing up, we were always just willing to make these plans for our lives and had this idea of what life was supposed to look like for us and how it's supposed to go. And if you're anything like me, you're very by the book, and when you're making your plans, it's like boom, boom, boom. And if anything strays away from that plan, you're automatically freaking out and wondering what your next move is going to be. And that's not how it's supposed to be. I think obviously, according to Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, we are supposed to very much so take things day by day, and not saying don't plan, but don't take your plans so seriously. And that mindset and those preset ideas that we have, I think, sets us up for failure when it comes to us thinking about how things should have went, and it can lead us to feeling disappointed. It can lead us to feeling bitter, being a little resentful when we see plans that we wanted for ourselves going for other people. It can make us a little upset and a little angry. And also just like timelines, I think that kind of like the idea of how our life's supposed to be, and I feel like society kind of puts us like on these timelines. Oh, you should be married by this age, you should have kids by this age, you should be graduated by this age, you should be doing this at this time. And I think those things kind of put an unspoken pressure on people. And honestly and truly, it may not even be God's will for our lives or the direction that he wants us to take and or go. So with that being said, it kind of just pushes me over to the next thing. And it basically is just shifting your focus from our plans into our creator. And obviously, I feel like this is something that I speak on quite often, just refocusing our attention to God and what it is he wants for our life. And I feel like as you begin to seek out that relationship with God, and you're beginning to obviously get to know him for yourself, but not only are you getting to know him, but you're getting to know the plans that he has for your life. You're getting ready to know the will that he has for your life, and as he's revealing those things to you, you can govern yourself accordingly, obviously making those plans or doing what it is that you need to do in order to go through that next phase of your life. And I think obviously we just need to submit our will to God, or just, you know, spend that time with God so that he can reveal those type of plans that he has for us. And then another thing is surrender control. I think a lot of us are conditioned to want control. We want to have control over everything in every aspect of our life. And if you're me, I admit wholeheartedly, I feel like that's something that God works on with me on a regular basis, is just wanting to control every aspect of my life. And honestly and truly, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like that. And I am very well aware of my flaws when it comes to that. Because if we were to be in control of everything, there would be no reason for us to have faith. It would be no reason for us to trust God and trust his will and trust his direction and his plans for us. So it's important for us to kind of take a step back and just be like, I surrender control of my life to you. I'm trusting that you know what's best for me. I'm trusting that you can carve out this plan that's going to put me where it is you want me to put. And I think sometimes the ideas, like I said, going back to the ideas that we have for ourselves, is very different from what God wants for us sometimes. And I think once you kind of erase those ideas that we should have and where we should be, when we erase those things from our mind, when God does, you know, his will, and we seek out his will and his plans begin to come to fruition, we won't have anything, I guess, to compare that to feel ungrateful, or those feelings of like, this isn't where I wanted to be, but it's where God wanted you to be, and you're where God wants you to be. And that's important to know. So I think it's important that understanding that like the way we may have seen a plan is not exactly how God may work that situation out. It may look completely different, but it doesn't mean that it's not where you should be. And I think everybody's plan is different, and everybody's plan changes them in some type of way. And in different seasons of your life, it breeds different things. And obviously everything, the ultimate goal is to make us more like Christ and to make us more beautiful. And I think that is important to remember when we start looking at the plans that God has for us, and not taking it as, this is not what I wanted, this is not how it's supposed to go, but surrendering our control, surrendering worry, surrendering our finances, surrendering relationships, and surrendering our future to God. Because as we begin to surrender those things, I think God can have full control and allow his will to completely and totally be worked out in our life. And it's important to not really hold too strongly to what it is that we want as people. So I'm hoping that that was a little helpful when it comes to breaking down plans and timelines, and I'm hoping that you guys learn to surrender, just like I'm learning to surrender control in all aspects of my life. I feel like it's easy for us to be holding on to certain things and kind of withholding from God, but I think as we begin to surrender, it will make it a little easier for our plans and our timelines to be God's plan and God's timeline for ourselves. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.